I was ultimately satisfied with the way that Luke in the Last Jedi, how Luke sacrificed himself, how he became one with the Force, like Yoda, and Obi-Wan, because that's even his father, because that's how I imagine that he would ultimately go. He would become one with the Force. He would become, he would learn to die peacefully. And it's a fantastic scene. Oh my gosh, the giant gorilla AT-ATs just laying into to Luke Skywalker, who's he's dressed in his approximation of his Return of the Jedi garb, and it's really, really, you're shooting is like Kylo Ren is like fire, and just excessive force, and then Luke just steps out. It was fantastic. It was so good. And then you have that confrontation and between Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker. One of the things I really like about the Star Wars, the original trilogy, the lightsaber battles, that I really didn't like about the prequel trilogy lightsaber battles, except for perhaps the Revenge of the Sith, the final Revenge of the Sith battle on Mustafar. That went way too long. But there was weight behind the fights. There was purpose behind the battles. It wasn't just cool looking lightsaber fights. And I guess, yeah, you could argue that, like in Attack of the Clones, the fight between Yoda and Dooku, or Dooku and Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker had meaning, but they really didn't. They really didn't have the weight of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader's final lightsaber duel, or Luke and Vader's first and then their second lightsaber duel. There wasn't the dramatic weight that you saw in the original trilogy. Had a lot more dramatic weight and more meaningful story impact than in the prequel trilogy. But part of that is also lightsaber fights seem to be handed out like candy in the prequel trilogy, and it was not. I don't know. They're cool. Don't get me wrong. The choreography of the prequel trilogy lightsaber fights is really cool. It looks cool, but if you just through the course of the movie, it's just there's no like weight to the fights. There's no there just isn't until Revenge of the Sith. But this, it was like it represented the Last Jedi. It represented everything that Star Wars was about, with regards to the lightsaber duels, and it was like fantastic, amazing. I think, and Luke defeated Kylo Ren without crossing blades, and part of that is because obviously Luke was a projection, and so he couldn't. But man, it was like that was Luke Skywalker to me. That's what the power of the light. The light side, the power of good in the Star Wars universe. That is what Luke represents. And then just I can't think of the character. I can't think of the actor who plays Kylo Ren. But Kylo Ren, just his, you can like the difference between the two characters and it almost echoes. It's almost like I can almost kind of see Luke, like at the end of Return of the Jedi, like Luke, you know, giving into that rage and that anger and going all out against Darth Vader. But in this one, like, Luke has overcome everything, and you see the good, like, how, you know, coming to terms with everything and being at peace, what that does, and how that you know, can overcome the dark side. So yeah, like really the ending of Luke, the ending of Luke's character arc was fantastic to me, and I thought they did a really good job progressing in unexpected ways. Like one of the things I was I was hoping, even though I was hoping that Luke would come back in Episode 3, and actually this gives him the opportunity to come back in Episode 3 if as a Force ghost. You know, I was satisfied with the ending. I thought that him going out the way that he went out was very much true to his character. It wasn't a character assassination. And I did love how I loved the symbolism of, like, the destruction of the Jedi Temple, or the Jedi Codex, and then the tree, destruction of the tree, and, you know, and Yoda coming back and Luke going, but that was the Jedi, that was all the Jedi knowledge, and Yoda going, did you read it at all? And Luke going, well, and Yoda going, it wasn't very interesting. That was hilarious. I thought that was hilarious. I love Yoda. It's such a cool character in the original trilogy, and they did. He made a cameo, right? He just made a quick cameo, but so true to his character from the original trilogy. Like, just completely amazing to me, and I kind of like so continue on what I liked about the film. I did like actually no, I didn't like. I loved the use of color with Supreme Leader Snoke. How it was very like when they go into his throne room. It's very to me, like the red and stuff like that. It was very theatrical, like a stage, and I was like, this is really cool. I mean, it's obvious symbolism. The red is bad in Star Wars. The green and blue is good, but the color is fantastic in that, and the use of color is so fantastic, and the way it's just red, it reminds me of theater, and like the scene, like when he brings Rey, when Kylo brings Rey in, and they're fighting and stuff like that. It's very theatrical with the bodyguards. Although I wasn't sure if they were people. I couldn't figure out if they were people or if they were robots. I wouldn't have been surprised either way. I'm sure there's some you can go online and find out who they or what they are. But yeah, I like something that I've really liked about the new trilogy thus far is the use of color. Has been fantastic. Like the way that they use color to symbolize things, and it really continues in this film. then even like when you get to the part going back to when Luke confronts Kylo Ren at the end, you have Luke coming down, and he's in his black Jedi robes with like a white shirt. It's really kind of that contrast with Kylo Ren being all in black, and that really is, to me, that's like a really cool symbolism how Luke has managed to overcome all of like his doubts and his worries, because he was in the beginning, when you first see him on the island, he's kind of gray. So it's really kind of, to me, it's really kind of cool how it's like it separates, because gray, is white and black combined, and I like how it separated it, which symbolized to me that Luke had managed to get past this gray, this uncertainty, and become the one with the Force. What else did I like? I liked Leia. I liked what they did with Leia, and it really, really makes me sad that we won't be able to see what happens, like their full vision of the story, because of the Carrie Fisher's tragic passing, and it's really sad and it's really unfortunate. And I'm from a storytelling perspective, it would have been interesting to have seen what they would have done with Leia, particularly because of her obvious Force powers now, and it was kind of I laughed at I chuckled at first I was mortified that they would have killed her, they would have killed Leia off in the first 15 minutes that she was on screen, but man, and as silly as it was to see her flying through space like some sort of Force witch, just seeing that she actually has power, and that she can use it, would, like, I was afraid that she wasn't going to, that she, for whatever reason, decided not to use her power. It just wouldn't have made, I feel like it wouldn't have made sense if she did, and I didn't feel like it made sense. But it was cool. It was really, I liked the use of her power.